Mi gente, you already know who it is. It's Danny Limelight. And I need all of you to subscribe to According to Woods podcast on Facebook, YouTube, and all other platforms.
What's good, party people? This is According to Woods, and I have the honor and privilege of talking to the UFC roster member for the second time. He's a Bellator vet. He's been all around the world, Rizin, like all over. And yes, he is the leader of the ToroTech, aka 10 Planet Tucson Army. He's the one and only El Toro, Anthony Birchak. Anthony, what's going on, my man?
What's up, Woods, man? What is going on?
Not much, dude. Glad to have you here. And it's I think in many ways your kind of second kind of iteration with the UFC is what people should learn. And we were kind of talking off air about like the calamity that was damn 2020. That was a motherfucker, man, for a lot of people. But you know, like the first time you got cut, you figured a way, like, this is not the end for me. You scoured the world, you conquered world titles and all that jazz, jiu-jitsu tournaments, you know, started a business and what have you, and now you're back again. Like, you are essentially what people should take out of 2020. It's like betting on yourself, getting out there and doing the work to make your dreams happen.
Yeah, man. I like we were talking off air. Like 2020 was, and it was okay. Like it was deemed okay for everyone to just give up. You know what I mean? And like there was a lot of people like yourself and others that started podcasts and used their hobbies and passions to monetize it and come out this other side okay. You know, with me, it's always just been like I can't not work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can't not train. I can't not be active. And so I'm trying, during 2020, it was very apparent to me that I had to keep everyone that I cared about close and active. Because if I let that apathy, or if I let that kind of just, that vibe of 2020 set in with everybody, you know, we'd all been in some bad places. So I was like, hey, we're going to still move. In the first couple of weeks when everyone's like, well, we're scared to come back to class, coach. Like, I go, okay, let's go on hikes together. You know what I mean? Let's go outside together. Let's go do these things together. But we're still going to be together. You know, and now that I can look back in retrospect and be like, you know, like just me keeping everybody, the unit, like a consistent uniform unit, like that was important, because who knows where it would be right now that everything's kind of starting to lift and shake off. But you know, it's, man, what some crazy times we've gone together, you know.
Yeah, but you know, it's you know, a coal, I mean, I guess a diamond without pressure is still a lump of coal, right? And that's what we have to realize. It's cool to have vision boards and all that jazz, but you know, to do the work, you know. And it's funny for me, like we're kind of closing in on 400 episodes of this very podcast that didn't exist prior to July, but you know, like seeing all these incredible people doing incredible things across my timeline, I was just like, I got to do the work too. It's not just like sit and talk. Like, I never want to be like, oh, Woods is getting in my DMs, damn it, oh, this guy again, whatever. Like, it's fun. Like, we might talk about fightings, we might not at all. Like, we might talk about like food recipes and how to cut weight, or like, I don't know, the annexation of Puerto Rico. We don't know, it just goes wild.
Yeah, man, and like that's important, right? Like everybody does have a story. Everybody for sure has a story about 2020. You know what I mean? Like you might have been the boringest motherfucker on earth, but you'll have a story about 2020 for sure.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it's important that you know 400 episodes is huge, bro. Like it's important that you expanded and diversified and pivoted during a time with so much uncertainty of like, what am I going to do? What can I do? What am I good at other than what you were doing at that time? And I think a lot of people figured out how versatile they can actually make themselves, you know, and 400 episodes, 400 talks is definitely testament to how much you're able to give so many people a voice and a platform for them to tell, you know, what they've gone through.
No, I coming from you, I really appreciate it. And getting to the first comment, our good brother Robert Simerson of the Gym Crasher says Birchak is the man. I know, agreed 100%. And check out the Gym Crashers tournament that's actually going down Friday, May 7th in San Pedro. It's a 3-on-3 tournament, and apparently Ben Jones from CSW is actually coming out of retirement to grapple.
Oh, snap, dude, that's crazy.
Yeah. So I think
those 3v3 Gym Crasher tournaments are rad, bro. I love them.
Yeah, I mean, you've been kind of witness to some of the tournaments and the antics, and had, you know, the Gym Crashers and our Life CBD crew crash the gym out there in Tucson. So how was that?
Yeah, you know, the Our Life CBD crew is always fucking lit, bro. Like if I see them at Submission on the Shore, or if they're coming to Bullpen, you know, Sean, the crew's always just dope, man. Like it's always amazing having those guys around. They support and help so many people in the jiu-jitsu community. When I see how many, you know, also companies that just thrive during the pandemic, you know what I mean? Like that's another one of those companies that just figured out how to continuously reach people, dude. And it, you know, whether it was through like speakeasy jiu-jitsu or whatever, you know what I mean? Like they were still finding a way to be involved, bro. It was dope.
No, 1,000%. Now, you know, you were kind of talking about, you know, yourself as a gym owner. Obviously, you have your own dreams and wants. You know, one of the major ones, you know, kind of following you, your wonderful wife Mercedes, right? That, you know, the getting back to the UFC, that was a major kind of storyline, right? You know, I mean, drawing back from the first time that you were there, right? Sure. So I mean, how was it to kind of keep people motivated during this kind of time of uncertainty? You were talking about, hey, let's go, you know, let's go take a hike and what have you. But like, there had to be some pushback, yeah?
Yes and no. You know what I mean? Like the people that push back ultimately were not like those resilient people that really dealt with any adversity to begin with. Like one of the things that I heard was like, this is unprecedented. This is that. Like, if you don't know how to handle yourself right now, you clearly just have never had adversity in your life to begin with. You know what I mean? Like, okay, they're saying all these things that we can't do. Let's do something else. You know what I mean? And it's like, if you didn't want to, then don't. And you're not my kind of people.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, if you're okay laying down, then lay the fuck down and move out of the fucking way for the people like that want to do shit. You know what I mean? And when it comes down, I'm gonna talk about like a lot of shit real quick. So when it comes to me, you know, leaving the UFC, grinding on the outside, trying to make my way back into the UFC, you know, raise my price as far as my free agency goes and what I can get, you know, 10 fights from now or 6 fights from now, as far as my value. That was all that I did when I left the UFC the first time. I was trying to test my free agency to raise my value, right? And while I was on the outside, it was hard grinding. You know what I mean? Like I was in these local shows, there's LFA. The coolest thing I did was go to Japan and fight in Rizin. You know, but at the same time, that was one of the worst things that happened to me in my career, bro.
Really?
You know, like, those 3 losses in Japan were huge. And it was because they were, you know, split decision losses that it was like, you know, my record went from being 19, it would have been 18-3 to, you know, we're now here, it was at 16-6. You know, and like now I'm sitting at 16-7, 16-8, and it's like, man, like I have a lot of repairs to do in my career now. You know what I mean? But as far as like the grind, the hustle, everything it took to get back to where I was trying to go, you know, like there's a lot of people that don't want to do that, and it shows. It shows that people don't want to put in the work, and I guess it's like that millennial mentality of like, I shouldn't have to work for this anymore. I should be able to develop an app and be a billionaire. I should be able to, you know, just wake up and show up, and that should be enough. You know what I mean? Here's another lesson that I learned with this last fight that in the UFC, right? I sacrificed and gave up so much time with my kids, my family. I missed my 13-year.
Uh-oh. Looks like we lost Anthony for just a bit, but he's going to come back around. But yeah, the sacrifices that he made, you know, not being able to kind of be there for your child, 13 years old. That's a pivotal time, you know, for a young person, and you know, to spend the time away to hopefully achieve your dreams and work for it, and the work required to make those dreams a reality. Man, it's tough, and it's not all, you know, a rosy Instagram post or do you fight UFC bros. Like, it's not all that. It's, you know, it's hard work and dedication. And I know that euphemism gets talked up almost ad nauseum, but that's something that Anthony has done to the umpteenth degree, and that's why he's back there now, which I kind of really want to get into, because like his re-entry to the UFC came at a crazy time, because none other than his former teammate, or and they might even still be teammates to an extent, but Gustavo Lopez, a Combate champion, Combate Americas champion, that was his first fight back into the UFC. There we go. Here he goes. I was rambling. You're good.
Hey, brother. This is a very
absolutely.
Okay, listen. It's so fucking hot in Tucson, right? My phone's overheating.
Ooh. Yep. I know that.
So it just kicked me off completely right now, man. It might do it again. I'm trying to blast my AC at the back of the phone.
I hear you. The struggle is real.
Again, continue what I'm saying.
You were saying about spending time away.
13-year-old. I sacrificed time with my kid. You know, like all this stuff. I did everything I was supposed to do. I left home to go train. I trained, you know, 6 to 8 hours a day. I gave up diet. I quit drinking. I quit all this stuff, and I sacrificed just to truly give myself to the sport. And you know what? I still ended up losing. And a lot of people don't understand, even though you do the hard work, you do what you're supposed to do, you're not guaranteed success.
Right.
You know, like, even when you're what you're supposed to be doing, you still might not get the results you want, dude. And for that mentality to go understood is another battle in itself. You know, like, well, like, coach, I did everything you told me to do. I still didn't win. Yeah, you're not. I mean, sometimes you're not gonna. You know, just because you show up to work every day and you put in your 10 hours at work every day and you do the reports on time doesn't mean you're gonna get the fucking promotion you deserve.
Yeah.
You know, so like a lot of people have trouble wrapping their head around the hard work and getting the results maybe 1 out of 10 times. You know, 3 out of 10 times. But that work's got to be done, man. The rent's due every day, dude.
Mm-hmm. I think Joey Diaz put it better in a better way that I can understand that anybody else is like, you got to prove your worth to the universe every fucking day, every day. The universe owes you nothing,
and that's what it is, man.
Which you know, all
nothing,
the you
know, but you know, it's that old saying, the harder I work, the luckier I get.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And like, there is substance to that, because you're just going to get lucky every single day by not doing anything, right? You might get lucky once or twice every now and then by not doing anything. But the more you do, you're going to get luckier often. You know, and like, I think just me grinding and hustling and getting back to the UFC and doing everything that I was supposed to do, and even having this result of my loss, you know, this last Saturday, like, I'm still here. I'm still working. Like,
yeah,
this doesn't mean that I pack it up and give up. It doesn't mean that I close down ToroTech. It doesn't mean that I close down 10th Planet. Like, none of that means that. It's just like we continue to push on and persevere.
No, 100%, and that's amazing that you're a teacher of principle, because that is literally the mantra that I see and feel exuding out of like that ToroTech 10 Planet Tucson fam. You know, like I mean, 10 Planet in itself going right to Eddie Bravo, right? Like, that's the mentality. Is like, you do the work, no days off.
Right. You know, and I try to tell everybody every class, like, I teach more than jiu-jitsu, man. I'm not here just to teach jiu-jitsu. I'm here to teach you how to be people that are reliable, people that are you know, useful to this world. You know, like, there's just so many people that are just in the way, man, and like taking up other people's time, and takers, and these succubus and incubus of people that they just take from you and they never give back. I always try to tell, like, guys, relationships are like a bank account, okay? And you can look at everybody that you have in your life as a bank account. Are they continuously withdrawing from your account as a friend? Are you consistently having to give them gas money? Are you consistently having to give them rides somewhere and you know, help them with bills? Are you like, have they ever, like, you know, offered to help move you, or like even just watch your dog, or like little deposits, you know, here and there, go back and forth, like, and it's the deposits of life. Like, if you help me move my house and you ask me if I could help you move, and I go, I think I'm fucking busy, dude, you know, like, that shit shows. You know what I mean? It's like those little deposits of me helping you move because you helped me move, like, those that deposit's even, the account is even, right? But if I help you move and you don't help me move, and then, like, if I'm like, hey bro, like, I'm late to work, I have a flat tire, or my car ran out of gas, can you come get me? Oh bro, I'm balls deep in Call of Duty right now, like, I would love to, like, you know what I mean? Like, dude, there's fucking people like that.
Wait,
and it's like,
that almost sounds too true to be just an analogy. I think that might have happened. Has that happened to you?
World fucking things, man. And like, bro,
was
I'm telling you, like,
was it Nash Palma? Let's just put Nash for T.
Nash would come and get me, if I was on fire, Nash would piss on me. Like he's a genuinely good fucking dude, bro.
Yeah, and the memes and the damn Nash 4T on Instagram. If you guys just want to feel better about your life and day, go hit up Nash Palma. You can thank us later.
Yeah, man, Nash. He was like, it was just Nashtagram for a long time.
Yes,
they banned him so many times. He's gotten his account deleted so many times. He's on 4 now.
I got put on game with him by Blair Green, and Blair Green is like, whatever, and he was on Instagram, like a Nash 2T-gram. Yeah.
Bro, well, we're double that now, bro. So
no, you were talking about time and deposits, right? So
right.
I mean, you spent almost a half a decade away from the UFC and plying your trade, and that's what you did, because most people can kind of see it. Again, you were talking about those people that are just like that, rely on just like, oh well, I made it once, but whatever. And then I don't have to do, they kind of, flight into obscurity to an extent, right?
They rest on their laurels, right?
Yes,
rest on their laurels.
100%.
Like, So when I was younger, I said that same thing is like, if I ever make it to the UFC and I go 1-2 barbecue, like I obviously don't belong there. So I'm just not going to try to work my way back. Right. But when I look at my first run in the UFC, I was 2-2. I should have been 3-1. The only loss that I should have had was Thomas Almeida. I shouldn't have lost to Ian Entwistle, and Ian Entwistle was ultimately the catalyst for me moving to 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu. You know, I left my old affiliation. I've even messaged Ian, and I've gone, you know what? I want to thank you for everything I have in life now, because if you would have never heel hooked me, I would have never sought out that knowledge. I would have thought what I was doing at that time was good and right, and I would have never tried to expand on what I needed. Right? So like, when I saw that I knocked out Joe Soto and I beat the Ultimate Fighter Brazil finalist, and I should have beat Ian Entwistle and 3-1, only losing to Thomas Almeida. I could have been in the top 10, Joe Soto went 5 rounds with TJ. I knocked out Joe in 1. It was like, I'm there. And if I come back with maturity and poise and understanding, I can make a better run. And like right now, like I'm 0-2 in the second one, but I still feel like I'm just one breakout performance away from getting what I need.
No, 100%, 100%. Now, but what did you learn about yourself and tenacity? That is something that is almost exuding from you, like the take no bullshit, but like in that time away, I know it had to have been hard. And at a time you talked about, testing your worth and value. That's a lot of times. We just saw Corey Anderson's kind of skinny.
Yeah, I love that tweet, man. I love that. That makes me very happy. Makes me very happy for him, and even when I thought like I got paid, my contract in Rizin was double what I was making in the UFC.
Whoa.
And I thought that was going to be my value. Now I'm set. No matter where I go from here, I'll be able to say that's my price. It didn't work like that, dude. Even when what sucks about this time back in the UFC is like, I left at, I think 14-14, 16-16. They brought me back at 12-12. They didn't even bring me back at my last contract. So, like it's so hard to fight now. Like, I could totally just walk away in the sunset right now, but I'm not done, man. Like,
you look like you're having fun. That's the thing.
I mean, if getting knocked the fuck out.
No, but even like how loose you were, again, flanked by Mercedes and the rest of the crew and everything. But you look like you're having fun, even in the to me, it was almost like weird that like, oh, here you go, UFC again. Cool, bro. Gustavo Lopez, your buddy, your training partner, your pal, and basically you guys were kind of in similar positions. Obviously Gustavo hadn't been with the UFC, but a Combate Americas champion and what have you. You guys are training partners, and then like you guys are kind of like, it would have meant pretty similar stakes for both of you guys, and
for
like,
sure.
and you had to like
and that's
basically
why and that's why I said yes, right? Is because like he gets to stay in the UFC and I got to get back into the UFC. So that was a win-win for both of us. And it was right before Christmas and both of us got to get a paycheck before Christmas. You know what I mean? So like it was win-win for both of us all the way around.
No, 1,000%. And Coach Rob approves, says Coach Rob up in Canada. And he's like, well said, young man, approved. 100%.
Thank you, Coach Rob. I appreciate it, man.
Yeah. Now, I mean, and it's funny because like it was right. I think you guys, was it regular training or open mat where Gustavo just brought beers and whatever? You guys got to celebrate?
I told him, damn, bro, you can't choke me out on one Saturday and then invade Tucson the next Saturday. Like he came to the USC U of A football game.
Oh,
right?
Okay.
He pulls up this black Tahoe, like pulls up all shitty to the front of my gym, and we're like, who the fuck is this? And then like little ass Goose gets out. He's got a 6-pack of Pacifico and a half drank bottle of Jameson already. And I was like, dang, bro, you didn't bring me a full bottle of Jameson. You brought me a half drank one. So, but yeah, he showed up to open mat. He rolled with everybody. And like, that's when people were like, oh, you guys are like really training partners and homies. And I was like, yes, like, why didn't you fucking believe that when we were saying it the first time?
Yep.
They're like, well, everybody says they're I go, no, dude, like, he's literally my main dude in Vegas.
Filthy casuals is what I'm gonna say. I'm just saying.
Filthy
Love
casual.
them, but yeah, love them, but damn, sometimes they just, they say the bad apple. Sometimes they're the fucking cider, yo. I'm just saying.
Oh man.
And much love and respect. That's amazing. Thank you, Coach Rob, for that. Now, it's crazy, because you've got your family life, you've got your own aspirations, but you're a coach, right?
Yeah.
Like, at what point? I mean, does it ever kind of interlude where you feel lacking in some and not in others, and what have you? What is the balance like?
Man. So I tell everybody that I'm half-assed at everything right now, right? I'm a half-assed coach, I'm a half-assed fighter, and I'm a half-assed business owner. You know what I mean? But here's the crazy part. I'm successful at all three somehow. Could you imagine if I went whole ass into one of those?
Yeah.
You know
that needs to be a shirt. Whole ass into something.
Get whole ass into something, bro. But but yes, and my guys know, like, when I'm going, they're like, nah, coach, we'll take the back seat. Like, it's you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And right now that I'm done, my 145er is making his pro debut for Fury FC on Fight Pass May 16th on
the audio went for a second.
Okay,
you're good. You're good.
So yeah, he's on Fury FC in Houston May 16th. So I come home, he's right back in camp. I'm holding mitts, getting him ready. I got one of my Hawaiians that's making his pro boxing debut. So like, like, this shit don't stop, bro. We just keep moving.
Yeah. No, man, can't stop, won't stop. Which
and then like the business, like, we just did our 420 special where someone on Facebook reported our deal. That's why, like, if you looked at my IG story, I got put in Facebook jail for 24 hours because we're doing a $420 3-month paid in full with a free rash guard, a $4.20 enrollment fee, and $130 a month. And then for 6 private one-on-one lessons with me, it's $420. So it's $70 a session. And I got noticed that post goes against our community guidelines.
What?
So someone fucking reported us in Sour that, we're still out hustling and doing shit. And, it is what it is. But, the gym's successful. My fighters are successful. Even though that I lost I'm in the UFC and I'm successful, man. Like, and I'm doing everything half-assed. And that's what people are afraid of, is if I jump whole ass into one of these, they're fucked.
Yeah, no, 100%. Which I got, man, I wish I lived closer to Tucson, man. That's a hell of a deal. I mean, right before like the COVID and everything like that. And I was going to go to, Ramey and Capella at 10 Planet Pasadena.
Yeah.
Because I grew up a wrestling fan, belts are cool, bro, and whatever. But like, I want a Naga belt because, like, again, professional grapplers that win belts, like the stripes and the on the belts, that's all cool and whatever. I want to be like fucking Bret Hart back in the day and just like, I'm just saying, so like, I was going to begin my path and whatever. And once everything kind of shakes out, I'm still going back there, 10 Planet, or, for life. But it's just one of those things, But damn, that motherfucker must be in Utah. So fuck you, Utah, for reporting that post.
Yeah, they're here in Tucson, man. The haters are thick here, bro. And like, it just shows that we're doing the right thing. You know what I mean? Like, I had 6 signups yesterday, so it is what it is.
That's cash. That's cash. No, and Don McGuire, our friend from the Fighters Voice, says, you fought Carlos Ortega back in the day. What would you say that fight helped you realize that you belonged in the sport?
Oh, Carlos Ortega. So me and Carlos Ortega have like three. I have teammates that fought him. So like Jamie Varner fought Carlos Ortega, and I think
Yeah.
Anthony Escudero fought him, right? And like that was a really hard fought win for me to win the Rage in the Cage world title. And at that point, I was like, okay, if those big names like Efren and Jamie fought him and won and moved on to do big things, then that might have been like a platform for me to that was my jump off. You know what I mean? And like, I respect Carlos big time, man, because he literally fought everybody back in the day, and like, I still am very grateful for him for taking that fight.
No, absolutely. Now, you're El Toro, which I love because I was born in 1985, the year of the ox, and then I was also born in May. So, like, I'm a Taurus, right?
Yeah,
So,
perfect. May 16th
yeah,
is coming up, man. That's my birthday.
that's your birthday. So we're both Tauruses.
Yeah.
Hey, right on. Too
Hell
sweet.
yeah, bro. That's like the whole gym that I have right now is all Tauruses. So like when I was coming up, like wrestling, like when the whole month of May was like a drunken blur because my best friend's birthday was May 3rd. I was dating a girl whose birthday is May 7th. Then I went into the relationship with Mercedes, whose her birthday is May 6th.
Wow.
My daughter Jaden's is May 9th. Mine's May 16th. I had another friend that was May 18th, and then our friend closed off the month with May 25th. So like,
wow.
I usually teleported from April to June, and I don't fucking remember May ever.
That's the way to do it. And I mean, I've never met a Taurus that couldn't drink everybody under the table. Didn't matter who was at the table. We're usually the ones, I mean, even though it's kind of it doesn't look great, but we're the last ones to leave.
Yeah, I mean, I absolutely love beer. Beer is one of like my favorite things. I love so many different types of beer. I've done my ancestry.com and I saw like, okay, I'm like straight up, like I'm Mexican. I know I'm Mexican, and I'm Euro trash, like Eastern European. Like, so that's where the love of beer comes from. It's got to.
I think so. I think so. No, I've got which is funny because I had Whitney on, right? And she's got the Tucson Kava Bar. Well, I'm Fijian, and Fijian is like Tongan and what have you. And then we've got like the American Black with like tinges of Irish and Native American. So again, like I don't think there could be a better kind of
That's
melt.
wild, bro.
Yeah. I was like, you just drink. Just drink. It doesn't matter what's there, what color it is. You put sugar in it, half diabetes, whatever. We're drinking it. You guys are going down. That's just what it is. I'm just saying.
That's wild, bro. Yeah, man.
Don says my wife's birthday is on May 3rd, and our anniversary is on the 7th. My birthday, hell yeah! So shout out to the
man.
McGuires.
Well, happy anniversary and happy birthday to you guys, man. That's dope.
Absolutely. So, bro, like, what is the things? Obviously, like you were saying, like half-ass, whole-ass, right? So, which is awesome to say. Again, this needs to be T-shirts. That needs to be a T-shirt. If I was smart enough to get that trademark, I might. But with all being said, like, what are the things that keep you motivated? Like, is there shit you're listening to and whatever? Because, like, to be this good at half-ass.
People always try to like get me to watch like motivational speakers, and like it's kind of hard for me because here's the thing, dude, is like if you're not intrinsically motivated, if it's not internal, no amount of external shit is gonna get you. If you don't already want to do it, no one on the outside is gonna get you to want to do it. You know what I mean? And like for some people that works, like hearing motivational speakers and hearing, like, Zig Ziglar. Like my mom was big on like Zig Ziglar and like a couple of the other like religious guys that were, big into praying and doing like, I'm religious and I'm spiritual, but like at the end of the day, you gotta put some hard work behind that prayer. You know what I mean? Like you can't sit on your ass and pray. It's put some hard work behind that prayer, and you know, God favors the hardworking. That's the thing, is like, what is it? God helps those that help themselves.
Yeah.
You know, so when I get motivated, what motivates me 100% is my family and kids. You know what I mean? Like, I'm showing my sons, you know, no matter what, even though I lost, I show up to work the next day, we're right back at it. That shit doesn't stop. You know what I mean? And like, you're gonna hit your highest highs and your lowest lows. And I always give this analogy of a mountain, right? It's like, when you hike a mountain, you're gonna be, you know, there's gonna be people that want to go hiking with you. Along that hike, some of them, you know, start losing their way and they go down. They like, you know, you leave them behind. Some people pull ahead, you know, but you guys are all climbing at the same time. You know, as you get to, you know, suddenly you start getting to the top of the mountain, you already see people that have already hiked to the top coming down now.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And you should smile and wave to those that have been already at the top, and you're headed up, you know. And when you get to the top, remember, you got to hike back down. You can't stay up there, you know. And like, during this hike of life, you know, whether you get there fast or you get there slow, we all got to come down. And it's like, the reality of all of that is in the middle of it, right? Is like, when I look at my highest highs and my lowest lows, and I don't really remember the middle. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But I because I know a lot of hard work was done at that time. So the hard work is going to be something that's always, you're always going to forget. You're always going to feel when you remember how you felt at your worst, and you're always going to remember what it was like when you're at the top. But you'll never remember how bad the hard work sucks in the middle.
Right.
You know what I mean? And you got to continuously do that hike. You got to continuously do that hard work to try to get back to the top. Because even coming down sucks. It's bad on your hips. It's bad on your lower back. You know what I mean? You might slip and fall and bust your ass on the way down, just like you might slip and fall and bust your ass on the way up.
Yep.
You know, but wave to everybody when you're coming up as they're coming down, and wave to everybody as you're coming down as they're going up.
No, 100%, you know, and you learned a lot about yourself, because it's funny, because I think it's hindsight that it's 2020, where you forget that middle part. Like, you know, raising kids, like, oh, now my daughter has a baby, right? And my wife, you know, as we're watching him, goes like, man, none of our kids were like this. I was like, no, all of our kids were like this. You just fucking, all of them.
You just forgot.
You just forgot. And it's a time in, like, they're babies and then now they're adults, but that fucking, like, when they hit 20, the fucking boys, the balls drop, and then, you know, you're going on fucking, you know, what is it, a Kotex runs for the girl and shit. Like, you forgot that part. Like, whatever.
No, because that's like you're just all moving. You're just moving at the speed of light, trying to get shit done. And you forget all of it. But yeah, every kid's like that. Everyone was like that. Yeah, man, it's just like, people forget, like, and that's why, like, women forget how painful childbirth is, right? It's like, they forget how painful it is because they go right back and have another one. You know what I mean? Like, I saw a funniest joke the other day. It was like, you know, girls say childbirth is the worst pain, and it's worse, and I say getting kicked in the nuts is the worst pain, and girls will never say they're equal. And he goes, but I see girls having multiple kids all the time. I never see a guy asking to get kicked in the nuts another time. You know what I mean? Like,
unless you're Steve-O.
I said that shit was hilarious.
Unless you're Steve-O, who's figured out a way to make a living getting kicked in the nuts and setting himself on fire. So shout out to Steve-O.
For sure, man. But yeah, I think people forget that, like, or maybe the body makes you forget how hard the hard work is, so you can continuously have to come back to it and do it again. You know what I mean? But yeah, dude, like, I try to teach, you know, everybody at the gym, like, adversity is always there. It's just how you conduct yourself during that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And like, you know, so many of these people have started new businesses and turned their hobbies into businesses. And like, I couldn't be more proud of, Whitney and Kevin and like them doing their thing and really chasing their dreams. Because during the pandemic, I was like posting in our group, like, hey guys, there's a lot of 10 Planet Tucson owned businesses that are struggling. You know, CI Choose Mongolian Barbecue, they're doing takeout right now only. I need you guys to go to support them because they're going to shut down and we're not going to have that restaurant to go to when this is over.
Wow.
Please go support Kevin. They're doing, jugs of Kava to go. They just invested and opened this business. I would hate for them to be closed down. Like, go support them, go patronize their business and make that happen. And they came out through the other side, man. You know what I mean? And like, the people that like I told at the gym, like, hey, if you're a first responder, if you're somebody that can afford to pay their membership and keep paying their membership because you're working, if you're deemed essential, please continue to pay your membership so that the ones that can afford it can chill and come back to something when this is all over with.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And like, there were so many hands that pitched into making all of us successful, dude. We were all really blessed to have each other.
Which, I mean, that's the cool thing, right? There's a lot of this crap that happened, but the sense of community, right, over the last year, right, and that is something that you were able to tap into to essentially keep some of the businesses that were in your own community, basically afloat, because there were a lot of people and a lot of business that fell by the wayside, and might be on the perch now of doing it, but like to be able to tap in, right? And that's got to be cool to see you too, because like not only are you their coach in sport and in life, but there's other businesses that are kind of growing up within your gym, that there's like this 10th Planet Tucson almost like conglomerate of marketplaces and what have you that you can go to.
So one of the things that inspired me to do that is like Coach Casey,
Casey Halstead, yeah.
Businesses spawned out of 10th Planet Costa Mesa, which is the original one. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like Phalanx came out of there. Nawaza came out of there. Like so many huge companies came out of there. You know what I mean? And it was like, I'm here to inspire the growth of businesses. I want to get you guys out of the rat race, and like there was 2 kids that were CPAs that were like, I did the quit your fucking job speech one day after class, start something that you're passionate about. And these kids came up to me, they're like, yo, coach, we quit our jobs as CPAs. And I was like, why the fuck would you do that? And they're like, well, you told us to. And I go, well, what are you going to do now? You know what I mean? And like, one of them is the general manager of a huge dispensary here in Tucson now. You know what I mean? He makes boatloads of money, bought a new house. Like, he's a way happier than he was being a fucking accountant.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like, I changed his life by telling him to quit his shitty job, which wasn't a shitty job. It's just, it
wasn't fulfilling for him.
It wasn't for him. You know what I mean? So like, once I said, like, you guys need to go into business for yourself, be your own boss. Like someone told me, and it stuck with me. Like I fired all my bosses. You know what I mean? Like I work for myself. I fired all my bosses. And I was like, I like that saying, man. And like, now that we have 10 Planet Tucson, we have, Rosa's Pickle Company, and we have, the Kava Bar, and we have, what else started out of there? We've had a t-shirt printing company. We've had so many little things sprout up, dude. And it's been, just this place of fostering growth, which is what it really was meant to be.
No, that's it. Which I gotta ask. All right. So, had you known before the Tucson Kava Bar, had you known about Kava? I'm Fijian. I want to get okay. So, how was it described to you, good sir?
It was described to me as a root it is dehydrated and pulverized and made into. They're like, it tastes like mud water.
Yep.
Right. And I go, okay, cool. They're like, you're gonna get like this little sensation in your tongue and throat, and like I never understood that it was like cocaine, basically. Just numbed your mouth and numbed your whole neck, and so I was kind of hesitant to try, like, because like I've had a bad experience with kratom during like a traumatic time, and
Wow,
like I've
okay.
never gone back. So like now that I understand a little bit more about it, I'm a little more knowledgeable about it through Whitney and Kevin, like me trying kava and understanding like, yeah, it really does calm you and center you and help you, you know, kind of deal with things in a little bit different way from like a centered place. I think the first day I tried kava, my little sister called me with a bunch of family drama, and I was like, all right, let's just breathe and think our way through this. And like, you know, like I was like, you know what, like, you don't be mad at them because they're mad at themselves, and like don't even worry about like. And my wife was like, who the fuck are you? Like, she's like, you would have handled that so different so many ways. Like, yeah, fuck them, and you don't need to be hanging around with them and blah blah blah. And I was like, no, you just got to look at from where they're coming from. Like, and she's like, who are you? Like, you need some more of that kava shit. Like, that was like a grown man conversation that came out of your mouth. So it definitely calmed me and made me think of, you know, what I was actually thinking of before I said it. So
wow.
Yeah, a little
No,
bit of a centering kind of feel for me.
that's tremendous. And it trips me out. Actually, one just opened up like maybe 5 blocks away from me. And I was like, what? Because as somebody, so I have been, at least for the Fijian part of my family, it's like you're the American one. You're not good enough to be Fijian. You're only a half breed, right? So anytime kava's around and like the traditional way, you mix it in a bowl, the hollowed out, dried out coconut shells, you serve, you clap 2 times, pass that some bitch to the right, and just, you know, like that's it. So like when people are like, I actually run away from it. I think I've been maybe 2 years without kava because that was the last time my cousin, who literally drinks a whole bowl, like a whole
Yeah.
like punch bowl to himself every night since he was 16. He's now in his mid 40s. I'm all like, holy shit, like your insides might look like the Carlsbad Caverns.
Oh man,
Holy fuck.
that's gotta be weird. You know what I mean? Like, he probably just shits silt.
Yes.
Like, just that.
Like
Because
you
that
fart
was
dust?
another thing. The first time I had kava, I was like, oh man, this is gonna be interesting. And I sat down for a good 30 minutes, and like, it was just like a flush for me.
Yeah, dude, there was this one time, right, where we're kind of like a no, my uncle, like his dad, my mom's brother, ended up you know, moving into a new spot, new house and everything, and we were trying to redo the bathroom. It was the 2 brothers that are my first cousins, and then me, right? Like the little dumb shit, and I was 18 years old, but they were always like, oh, you can't drink as much kava, whatever. We fucking drank like I think we started it like early in the day, midday, and then fuck, we didn't get done until like maybe midnight, and I felt so bad, and I hadn't eaten anything, and that's the thing, you gotta fucking eat because you want to. Sometimes you'll want to throw up if you've had too much, and there's nothing there. There's nothing fucking there. So I was trying to like barf into the sink, and I
dry heaved,
and I pulled the fucking sink off the wall.
Oh my god.
10 points.
10 points.
Yeah, 10 points.
But yeah, I mean, now like the Kava Bar is like a place that we all gather to watch, you know, Submission Underground, and we watch like all these little jiu-jitsu things there now. It's an event place. Like, instead of going to like a bar, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, the kids that are under 21 that couldn't get in to enjoy a place with us can get, you know, to the Kava Bar with us and watch, you know, our teammates compete somewhere. So it's been so amazing having such a cool tribe at our gym that everybody's just, you know, feeding off of each other, inspiring each other. It's incredible.
No, absolutely. Which I love that you mentioned incredible, because obviously, you know, you've had an incredible career thus far, right? So do you have like an incredible, whether it be fight or just maybe a moment leading up to the fight, a road trip, you know, cutting weight and everything? Like, what has been like the most fucking, yeah, I said weight cut.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, what has been like?
I have so many stories, bro. I don't know if I should tell you this.
You can not name names. You can not name names, but you can tell the story. That's how you did.
I have a very funny recent USADA story.
Okay, let's do that.
I have two. I'll give you the most two recent USADA stories.
Yes.
All right. So when this whole camp started, I was flying out like a Thursday morning, Friday morning, and I was going to Vegas. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
USADA usually shows up at my house at 5 a.m. and catches my morning piss. Perfect.
Wow.
Okay. The morning that my first time my wife could sleep in, and I said, you know what, I'm gonna wake up early. I'll take the kids to school, kiss them goodbye, get on a plane, and I'll leave. So I got up, peed, and I was like getting ready to take the kids to school. I hear the dog barking. I go, okay, that's the USADA bark. I know the USADA agent's outside.
Mm-hmm.
So I open the door and I go, hey, I just pissed. Like, you guys are going to have to wait here for a little bit. Now I started drinking some water, trying to rehydrate. I had to go wake up Mercedes to get her to take the kids to school. So I didn't even get to take the kids to school.
Aww.
She's pissed off because she didn't even get to sleep in, right? So an hour goes by. I miss my plane flight. I have to call the UFC to book me a plane flight for like another hour later. And I'm coming up on now almost missing that flight. I've been drinking a gallon now, and I go, hey, I can go to the bathroom, but I got poop. And she goes, that's great. If you can poop, you can pee. But because my Tucson USADA agent is a woman, she has to bring a volunteer male agent who's he's not even a USADA agent. He's just a volunteer. So he's a chaperone. And this kid's name is Caleb. And I go, okay, Caleb, we're gonna do it. This isn't gonna be comfortable for either of us. So he has to leave the door cracked open.
Yeah.
And he has to keep an eye on the USADA cup, right? So I'm sitting there and listen, I tried making it the quietest poop and just like letting it fall out of my butt. But the night before, I must have just ate something horrendous because it was like and like, dude, I'm like making eye contact with this guy, and it smells so horrible. Okay. The guy has 2 masks on and a PPE shield, and he goes like this. And he like walks a little bit, and I go, fuck. So I get to the end of the poop, and like, I'm like, okay, cool. I gotta pee now. So I grab the cup. All right. And I have to like shimmy my ass back and put the cup in. Okay, so I can start peeing, and I pee in the cup, but I remember I hadn't wiped my ass yet. So like, as I backed up, I left a little shit streak on the back seat of the toilet, and the guy goes, and he just walks away. Okay, so I finally wipe my ass, get the cup situated, and I walk out, and I go, Mondays, am I right, Caleb? And he looks at the lady and goes, can I please be excused? And she's like, no, we have to finish the paperwork. He goes, I don't want to go outside. And she's like, Caleb, let's finish the paperwork. So she starts finishing it. And he goes, may I please be excused now? She's like, yes, Caleb, you can go outside. And I go, hey, Caleb, like, I appreciate it. He doesn't say a word to me. Caleb, thank you very much. She goes, Caleb, he's talking to you. He goes, I'm leaving. And he slams my front door. Okay. And she goes, wow, I really don't know why he would act like that. He's usually very chipper in the morning. And I went, dude, watching a grown man take a foul shit at 5:30 a.m. in the morning is not the way I want to start a Monday either, lady. Okay? So I've been waiting to get this story out on a podcast for a long time now.
Thank you.
Second story. I was laying, it was like between sessions at the gym. All right. And I'm laying in bed, got the door shut and everything. No one's home. Start deleting pictures and videos. And I got to like some videos of me and Mercedes getting nasty.
Hey.
And I was just watching them, right? I wasn't touching myself or anything. I was just watching them.
Admiring your work.
Riled up, and someone knocked on the door, right? And I go, oh, fuck. And I go, it's probably Amazon just dropping off a package. You know what I mean? They'll leave. I hear the doorbell ring, and I go, fuck. I'm not at my house, mind you. I'm at a friend of ours' house. So I don't want to just answer their door. I don't know who's there. They'll come back later, whatever. Doorbell rings again, and I go, fuck. All right. So I got up, and I looked through the peephole, fucking USADA. So I answer the door, and he goes, hey, can you pee? And I go, yeah. So I sit down. He starts opening all the stuff. And I go, hey, I got to piss like right now. He goes, oh, okay, great. So I grab the cup, and I take it off. And now my roommate has walked out of his bedroom. And he's like, what is this? I was like, oh, this is my USADA agent. He's like, oh, hey, nice to meet you. The bathroom door's wide open. My roommate has to watch my USADA agent watch me piss.
Wow.
Okay? So it's a weird situation. I start pissing, and I already noticed the consistency of the urine is different. And I'm like, okay, I'm just going to piss. He's not going to notice. I fill up the cup, and I go, there's so much piss. I'm so hydrated. I'm sure it'll just dilute.
Right.
Okay. So I fill up the piss cup, put the cap on it, put it on the cabinet, and I go, I'm safe. I've gotten away with it. Right. Do all my questionnaire, get all my supplements in. He goes, okay, now take the piss out of the original cup, and you got to put in sample A and sample B. So I start pouring, and he goes, save me a little bit in the cup for the hydrometer. And I go, okay, cool. And I pull it out, and I go, okay, I got away with it. Filled it up, 60 units. He goes, now put 30, put the rest in the 30 unit, and then save me a little bit so I could test the hydration. So I start pouring, and as I pull the cup away, this giant jizz rope comes off of the fucking thing. And the dude's like, the guy goes like this, oh my God, what is that? I think your sample's contaminated. Do you want another cup? And I go, hey, I have an idea. I know what it is. I think I know what it is. So like 5 fucking minutes before you got here, my wife sent me some videos, and he goes, oh no, say no more. So I'm sitting there, dude, and I'm so fucking embarrassed. My roommate's laughing his ass off, chuckling. Okay. And I'm like just sitting there like, you know what? I make these USADA agents earn their fucking pay. Like,
Yeah.
I want to go down in history. So when Van and Jet are in the UFC, when my sons are in the UFC, they have like a Birchak clause of like, hey, that's my dad. Like, you guys came up with that clause because my dad, you know, made eye contact with you guys while he shit and while he jizzed in a cup one time. So I think that's that.
No, but the funny thing about it is like, say no more, right? Say no more. So that means you're not the only one.
I mean, I don't think I'm the only one, man. Like, I'm not the only one with a dick and a fine wife. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. I don't think it gets any better than that. I thank you for that. That's Christmas come early. I didn't know.
That's a good one to end on.
Hell
Yeah?
yes. I didn't know Gist Stories would make me this happy this time of the year,
Oh,
but
dude.
I guess that's where we're at. A little
Tremendous.
El Toro rope kind of dangling. That's amazing. That's amazing. Now, obviously, there have been so many people that have helped and contributed personally and professionally in your life. So let's get some shout outs out of the way.
Yeah, man. First and foremost, my wife, Mercedes White, you know, she was my manager for a very big part of my career. She's the mother of my kids, you know, wife, you know, super mom of the house. She does everything while I'm gone. She manages the gym. She was running a restaurant. She was, you know, making sure, you know, classes were being taught and covered. And, you know, she holds it down while I'm gone. And then, you know, without Coach Casey, like I wouldn't have 10th Planet Tucson, and I wouldn't be wanting to, you know, foster the growth of so many people and inspire like he inspired me. You know, and Coach Ray Cepho for being like a pillar while I'm away from home, and you know, giving me the stories of, you know, him fighting in K1 and him wanting to, you know, just all this adversity that he's gone through, and like it doesn't stop. Like him just telling me like it doesn't stop, it doesn't end. You know, him just giving me like that warrior spirit of like, you got to fight till you're broken. You know what I mean? Fight till you're broken and they sit you down. And like, he's been an amazing addition to my camp, man. And like, then I want to thank Iridium Sports Agency for getting me back in the UFC, Jason House. You know what I mean? Like, thank them so much for everything they've done for me, man. Like, all those people have contributed so much to my recent my recent lifestyle and all the blessings that I've had lately.
I love it. I absolutely love it. And the great group of people. Shout out to Iridium and Jason and Jacob Parker and the rest of the crew. Just amazing people. And obviously, for those who want to follow what El Toro is doing, what ToroTech is doing, where 10th Planet Tucson is doing, where can they find all of that stuff on the interwebs?
Yeah, so on Instagram, we're big on Instagram. We do a lot of content, a lot of free techniques of the week. You can follow me at Birchak MMA. That's ABIRCHAK MMA at 10P Tucson 10P Tucson, and then at ToroTech MMA. So all of those are our media channels. If you guys ever want to come out and just get a little traincation in, Tucson's a beautiful, small little city. With some amazing landmarks and sightseeing that you can do, as well as get some of the best jiu-jitsu and MMA in the world here.
I love it. I love it. I can't wait. I can't wait to pay you guys a visit, and you guys should too. Now, and thank you guys for joining us here at the According to Woods podcast. And if you haven't already done so, go ahead and like, share, and subscribe to the According to Woods podcast on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. I mean, Anthony, you're subscribed to the podcast, aren't you?
I don't know if I am, but I will for sure be after this.
See, that's it. So he's gonna do it, and you guys should do it too, and be like El Toro, not with or without the cum rope, but maybe. I'm just saying, whatever floats your boat. But if you don't believe me or Anthony, and I don't know why you wouldn't, well,
Jesus.
here's pro wrestler Zeta Zhang.
Hey, this is Zeta Zhang. Make sure you subscribe.